fine. I hope you're all well. It's the first time I'm using Loom, so don't worry if I forget that you are here, okay? Anyways, today we're going to start, we're going to work a little bit on reading, okay? This would be worth more than 2 classes, okay? But then you see, you stop, you do an exercise, you come back, then you have more autonomy to work on that. I improved our PowerPoints. Our PowerPoints were a bit messy. So I spent a while like reading and bringing more strategies and more ways of doing the exercises for you. And then you can work on your own pace. All right. So let's get this thing started. Let me see if I can present. I don't think so. Anyways, we're going to talk a little bit about the reading and use of English. In this video, we're going to talk about the reading, okay? So you are supposed to spend the whole paper 1 hour and 15 minutes. There are 7 parts, as you know. There are 52 questions in the end. It's 40% of the total. So it's the part that you are more relaxed, so it's the part that you should be more aware of, okay? The best way to prepare for reading is, well, to read, as I said to you many times. This time that I spent not with you, you should be reading. I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm still trying to check if I can make a full presentation out of here. I would love, but I don't think so. Oh, right. So let's start with the reading. And then you have seen this before. This is not the first time I show you. Like, teacher, there is something wrong. Shouldn't it be reading and use of English? Yes, it should, but not necessarily. Until before 2015, it was separate. There was a paper called reading and one paper called use of English. They just put them together, and some things, especially on the use of English, changed. Okay, but same old, same old. All right. So about the order, right now you should know already what order works best for you. This I will say many times, okay? But it's good for you to separate things, okay? So as I said, if you are good in, if you have a time problem, if the problem is timing, start with the use of English first, because you're going to spend time on reading. So do while your brain is sharp, do the use of English, because the reading is tiresome, okay? But if you have a vocabulary problem, like, I should know these words, but I don't know. Okay, so start with the reading, because it's going to be a big input of vocabulary for you, okay? So today we focus on part 1, 5, and 6. Okay, it's 42 points out of 200. That's a lot. So the first tips, as you know, first, read the titles. Read the titles. Even though you know what the exercise is asking, there is something called nervousness that tackles us, all right? For crying out loud, don't do the example, okay? It won't help you in anything, okay? And this is wrong. This is for use of English. That spelling is super important. All right, so part 1, multiple choice, okay? Remember, part 1 and part 2, they look alike, but on part 1, you have the choices, while in part 2, you don't, okay? I'm not going to be reading the PowerPoint to you, because you can do that. The PowerPoint is going to be there for you. Stop the video and see it, okay? So the best way to prepare for for a reading test is to read a lot. Read Harry Potter, read The Economist, read the description of the podcast that you are listening. Read, okay? So in this option, as all of them that have multiple choice, if you see that 2 options mean exactly the same, neither can be the answer. This is for sure, okay? Remember to read the title, never lose time to think of the example, and prepositions. So, okay, so how do I tackle this exercise? First, read the title, read the text quickly just to have a quick notion of what you're talking about. In this moment, you can start guessing in the gaps. Okay, we have done this together already. If you don't guess the word, at least you guess the word class, the type of word it is. It's an adjective, it's a verb, it's a whatever. Okay, what word class it fits in. If you can't do that, it's too much. Don't don't waste time on that. Okay, the idea is just quick reading, just to have an idea. Then you go to the questions, you go to keywords like what do I mean by keywords? Keywords before and after. Okay, don't forget that while you are trying to put that word in that sentence, you must find the two whys: why yes and why not. Okay, if you cannot answer positively why not, that might be the answer. That's why I was always doing that with you in class. Why? But why? Give me one explanation. Why? Okay. But before and after the gap, it's wrong in there. Before and after the gap is where you get the keywords. Okay, where you highlight the keywords, make little errors, and da da da. And it's super important. It's something that we usually don't do in class because we already have the answer. So let's go, let's go, let's go. And you have to do it. You have to read the text again. And not only the sentences that you have completed, the text as a whole. Because sometimes, for example, there is an effective and an ineffective. Grammatically, both are possible. In the meaning, both are possible. But in the structure of the text, you see that you are making a mistake. All right? Prepositions, prepositions, prepositions. Some things that are really common in part one: prepositions, pronouns, verb tenses, adjectives. Woo! They work on adjectives. They work a lot on adjectives. So adjectives, comparatives, but especially these things that are dependent on others. Okay? And then we go to part five. Already, we jump. Woo. On part five, you have a text and some multiple choice questions. Part five should be the easiest one for you because you have been trained for vestibular for a while now. And there is this thing here that in high school that we practice a lot this, but we don't go to the core of it. Okay, but anyways, as we could see by the last mocks, it was not the best part. Okay, so this is the looks of it. If you don't remember, the answers are in the same order, so you don't have to look for like a vestibular that most of the times you just have to look for the answer and the questions are not in order, so you just have to find the order. No, the questions are in order, so there is no reason to lose time. Okay. There is only one exception, is question 6. Sometimes question 6 is about the whole text. Okay. Um, it's very difficult in the case of these texts because sometimes they induce you to talk about your own opinions. The answers have a range of opinions that are possible. And that's very dangerous because you must talk about what the text is saying, not what you think about that. Okay. You have to read the questions as carefully as the text, and read the text before. Okay, now we go to strategies. The idea is read the text before the questions. Okay, statistically, it's the most efficient way. Does it work all the time? No, no. Okay, that's why I put in there. That sorry, this one that I put in there for you is just a trap. Okay, it's something common that helps that works for Cambridge. That we have worked on this already. When the text says both, but the question guides us to one answer. Anyways, coming back. Statistically, the most efficient way is to read the text first, because as it is in order, it doesn't work like a question from other tests like TOEFL, where you just have to find the answer. That's not the case in here. You must understand the answer. Okay? So there are three possible ways, okay? And two always the same outcome. First, read fast the text, okay? Go to the question, not the alternative. Get the keyword, you go to the question and alternative, get the keyword, and come back to the text looking for those keywords and the synonyms and antonyms of these keywords. We have worked, I think the first time we worked with part 5, we worked like that. That's one possibility, okay? Second possibility, read the questions, not the alternatives, not the alternatives. Get the keywords on the questions, go to the first paragraph, find where is the answer for that, read the question again. Oh, okay, so my answer is here. So now I read the alternatives. Dangerous, but really possible. Okay. Third possibility, you waste a bit of time doing that. Okay. The third one is something that I didn't used to do, and now I am doing, and I'm finding really good. Is to you read a question, okay, and answers, and get the keywords. The keywords, reading the answers, sometimes I go by the question. There are questions that I go to the alternatives because I have no idea how to answer, even before reading the text. And there are questions that I just get the alternative. Okay, it depends on the question. So what you can do: read the first question, get the keyword on the question, on the alternative, go to the text, find the answer, and stop. Come back to the next question. Okay, while in the first one is quick read everything, come back to the whole text. The second one is read all the questions, then go to the text and stop one by one. This one is already stopping. Okay, I'm finding really practical. I'm losing less time doing that as they are in order. The only problem is that sometimes I lose time on question 6 because I have to read the whole text again because I lost the focus on the idea of the text. It's up to you guys, right? Here again, the two important whys. You chose one, why? You didn't choose this one, why? Okay? And deducing meaning is always good. What do I mean by deducing meaning? Sometimes you can find yourself in a question that you don't know the keyword. The keyword is a new word for you. What do I do? Do I shred my hair to pieces? No, you try to deduce, okay? You try to look for the word in other contexts. You try to deduce meaning, even if it's not the correct meaning, the perfect meaning, probably trying to deduce, you get a lot of context, okay? And okay, part 6. I stopped part 5. Guys, you stop the video and go do the exercise, come back, write questions to me by Google Classroom, or I am scheduling the meetings, okay? Then you can take out your doubts. Part 6. For me, that's the help, okay? You have a text with some empty spaces, and you have to put the sentences that they provide in these empty spaces, okay? Why this is hell? Because it's 2 marks each. That makes the problem. Okay. There are 6 gaps, 7 sentences, so there is one that you won't use. The questions are very logical, and here one possibility. Okay, read the text with the gaps first before the question to know what you're talking about. you read and really you can read like, but the sentences before and after the gap, you get keywords, you make little signs, the way you prefer. Okay. And then the third tip is like, you don't have to fill them in order. Okay, as you have multiple choices, you don't have to fill them in order. You can, like, oh no, this is obviously the last one. Okay, it's fine. Okay. The text is full of clues. So there are a lot of sentences that start with a however, that start with a but. If it started like that, stop everything and say, whoa, dear, hi. Okay? Because if you're using a contrast word, means there is something to contrast. So use the contrast. All right? A therefore, for example. Therefore is a cause and effect. If you're talking about therefore, it's an effect for a cause. Find the cause. All right? There are some possibilities in here for you to see, names and pronouns. So, strategies to tackle this exercise. You can read the text first with the gaps. Okay? Use the signs to help you. So, little arrows, plus and negative, and ta-da-da. Go to the sentences, mark the keywords, go back to the text and try to fit them. Okay? Second possibility, that is my possibility, okay? Go to the sentences, get the keywords, get some ideas, okay? For example, write positive, negative, even though you didn't read the text before, okay? Go to the text, and in the first attempt, just put the absurdly obvious, just to get the idea of the text. There is always one that is absurdly obvious. And then you do it one by one. Okay? There is another way. Read the text carefully, and before you look at the gaps, so you take a look at what each paragraph is about. Okay? This is really possible if you don't have a timing problem. Okay? Read the text and write, for example, likes and dislikes, favorite part-time activity, something like this. This would help you with the connection of the sentences, okay? Now, write a brief note on the margin of what this is talking about, okay? And then go back to the sentences and try to make this connection. Anyways, always use words and phrases in the sentence which refer to something in the article to help you. Okay, so you're talking about likes and dislikes, and in your sentence there is a love, and in the text there is an enjoy. Okay, you found. And again, read the text as a whole again to check if there are mistakes. It's very important. A lot of people forget about that. Okay. And finally, the last one is part 7, the one that we didn't cover as much as I wanted. Okay, you have to find specific information. Okay, and basically is to find the specific information, usually who is saying what, or in which paragraph is saying what. Okay, it looks like this in the end, right? There are some strategies to work on this too. So you can start by reading the introduction of the text and the title of the article to give you an idea. And then you can go either read the questions first, get keywords, and da-da-da, or get the text first. They put the questions because they want you to go to the questions first. So underline keywords, underline sentences, make little signs, and then you read section A. If you start with the questions, you go to section A and read that section A like it's your certificate of birth. You try to match as many sentences as you can to that. And then you go to section B. Read, read, read. The last one we have worked on, we did something like this. Okay, so you put A question mark B totally. Oh, sorry. You put, I'm so sorry. Section A, you put question, I don't remember what are the numbers. 43, number 43. Okay, then A, B, it can be, okay? So you can start by, in section A, put 43, 47, okay? Or do the opposite, okay? Do the opposite. Read the text, try to read the text, make key summaries by the side, saying okay for that, not for that, or highlight part of the text and then go to the sentences, okay? Going to the text first might be a bit confusing because the sentences are really close. Okay? Your job is to find synonyms. Your clear job is to find synonyms, okay? Yeah, for example, something that we have done already. So you put there 47 maybe in part A. Underline the sentence that you think it's connecting. So if it's saying, for example, she loves Fulania said that she wants to go to a party with lots of people. Okay, and then in the text is, I really enjoy being in crowded audiences. Well, not in times of coronavirus, huh? But then you highlight. The tip in here is help your own mind to remember why you chose that, why you put that, not to be like, "Ai, foi isso que eu escrevi mesmo que eu não sei?" Give your brain a help in there, okay? A lot of questions are about people's thoughts and feelings. So learn as much as, again, adjectives as you can, okay? Like regret, accuse, reassure. This will show up a lot, okay? And here is where I stop. I don't want to go to use of English. So again, there's always more than one way. How do I know the best way? Jesus doing it. Okay, I'm going to post this video and I'm going to post a lot of exercises that you might do it or not. Okay, I'm not putting a deadline because we might enter in vacation after this 15 days. You won't. You guys from Cambridge won't. Okay, I'll keep on sending things and you do at your own pace. Okay, I don't want this to be stressful for you. Okay, and I think that's it for today. Thank you very much, guys. I miss you so much, you have no idea. Bye. Can I close this?